Hey everyone, it's me Lone. I hope you're doing all right. This video is not an easy one for me to make, and that's because the topic has affected people that I used to work with, has affected friends of mine, and just generally, it's not a nice situation. It's not a nice situation to talk about, let alone, of course, to be directly or indirectly affected by. And that's why this morning I was genuinely torn in terms of whether I should cover this on my channel in the first place. I don't want to be insensitive to the situation, especially because it is so raw. The news was literally just announced today. But that being said, I have dedicated on myself on this channel to covering Bethesda and Xbox news, good or bad, and I don't believe I can simply stray away from the situation simply because it's a hard discussion to have. So I want to try and be as respectful as I can be. I'm intentionally not going to make the thumbnail clickbaity. I'll intentionally not make the title clickbaity. This is not, a ploy for me to drive clicks to my channel at all. I just believe I need to talk about the situation. So if there's other ways that you believe I've been disrespectful or inappropriate in my coverage, please let me know and I will address it immediately. And I encourage you as well to be as respectful as you can be in the comments, because at the end of the day, people have lost their jobs here, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Microsoft have laid off 10,000 employees as of today, and there might be more coming soon. Staff and employees at Xbox and Bethesda have been affected. And as I said, there were a few people that I know that I used to work with that were impacted. So I'm going to cover the news. I've got an article from GameSpot linked in the description below. I'll go through the key points and, as always, provide my thoughts at the end. So the article starts off by saying that Microsoft is cutting more jobs this week, with CEO Satya Nadella confirming 10,000 layoffs during what the executive described as times of significant change. The job losses reportedly affect people at Xbox and Bethesda, in addition to Microsoft's wider teams at large. In a memo to staff, Nadella said that 10,000 layoffs, which amount to less than 5% of the company's total workforce of more than 220,000, will take place beginning today, January 18, through the end of its third quarter of fiscal year 2023. According to the New York Times, Microsoft hired more than 75,000 people since 2019 to help meet demand for the growing interest in online services and cloud computing due to the onset of the pandemic. The CEO did not say which departments within Microsoft are affected, but Bloomberg reported that Microsoft's Xbox and Bethesda divisions are affected in some capacity. A spokesperson for Microsoft declined to comment about if the layoffs affected Xbox when approached by GameSpot. Explaining the job cuts, Nadella said they stem from Microsoft's making adjustments to its business in response to the pandemic, looming recession fears, and advancements to AI technology. First, as we saw customers accelerate their digital spend during the pandemic, we're now seeing them optimize their digital spend to do more with less. We're also seeing organizations in every industry and geography exercise caution, as some parts of the world are in a recession and other parts are anticipating one, he said. At the same time, the next major wave of computing is being born with advances in AI, as we're turning the world's most advanced models into a new computing platform. Microsoft will incur a $1.2 billion charge due to severance costs for outgoing employees, as well as changes to our hardware portfolio and the cost of lease consolidation as we create higher density across our workspaces. Nadella described the job cuts as difficult but necessary. He said affected employees will receive Microsoft's full support, and this includes above-market severance pay, healthcare for 6 months, ongoing vesting of stock awards for 6 months, career transition services, and 60 days notice before termination for those not yet notified. This applies to Microsoft workers in the US. Affected workers outside of the US will receive benefits aligned with local employment laws. So to stress here, this round of 10,000 layoffs is likely not the last. There's likely more coming, and it's affecting people in Xbox and Bethesda, both in the US and also internationally. So how much more worse this gets, I can't say, but 10,000 people is a hell of a lot. It's sad for one person to lose their job, let alone 10,000. So first and foremost, I want to start off by saying I am sorry to those of you who are affected. This is a really tough time for someone to lose their job. Satya even said in his memo himself that we are in a recession in many parts of the world. Costs of living are incredibly high. Inflation continues to be very high. Interest rates continue to be very high. It's not a nice time for you to lose your job. Yes, they are getting a severance package, But we're talking about 10,000 people here in a specific sector. You can't expect that all 10,000 of those people are simply going to get another job in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure many will. I'm sure many are very qualified and experienced and capable and will be able to do that. But you can expect that a lot of these people might go weeks, if not months, on end without being able to find work. It's just going to be hard, especially with so many other companies in this sector and other sectors just going through layoffs or probably about to go through layoffs. So I want to stress, I'm really sorry to those who were affected. I hope you land on your feet, and especially to those of you that I know and that are friends of mine. You're wonderful, amazing people, and I am sure you will land on your feet very, very soon. And now I want to talk about, why did this happen? Microsoft, $1 trillion company, whatever it is, why did they let go so many people? And this is not me justifying the situation at all. This is not a nice situation. From what Satya has said, it is literally in line with what every other tech company, every other game dev, every other online publisher, internet outlet that has gone through layoffs have said about their recent round of layoffs. It's because when people are at home during the pandemic, they were consuming so much online content, and that pushed up the need for companies like Microsoft to hire more to support those services. And then when the pandemic started to ease and people are going outside more, they consume less of those services, so there's less of a need to have that many people on board. Unfortunately, the harsh, cruel reality of the corporate world is that margins have to be high. They like to keep margins high, and because of that, when things aren't going their way, when they see looming recession concerns in this stuff, they won't hesitate to lay people off. They will always do what is best for the company to ensure its survivability. It is a cold, harsh fact, and it's not me justifying it. This is the corporate world, as you know, or as you should know. It's really hard, man. I wish that there wasn't a way. That there was a way that these people could be kept on, especially because you have this looming $70 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, and some people understandably are finding it hard to reconcile letting go of 10,000 plus people and continuing on with this huge acquisition. I can understand how that doesn't look like a good look, and I agree. It is not the best look. It's not. Far out, man. At the end of the day, I hope everyone finds their feet. I know that there are many people on Twitter reaching out saying, our company's hiring, game devs, tech sector, whatever it might be. And while I've never personally been affected by a layoff, I have been in companies which have gone through layoff rounds. It is never nice. Oh, man. I'm struggling. I'm sorry. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Yeah. I want to say at the end too that I wish people would stop using this as a way to fuel fanboy wars, whether on the console side or on the publisher side, whatever it might be, because before you know it, PlayStation/Sony, Nintendo will announce their own round of layoffs, whether they have already or are yet to. It's happening so frequently at the moment. This is not the appropriate time to say, look how much Xbox sucks, or this acquisition of Bethesda was stupid. I've seen so much of that today, and it's not right. It's not fair to say. It's not appropriate. And I guarantee you the company that you're protecting or that you're defending or showing that is better as a result of this is probably considering a very, very similar thing, because we are about to head into most countries into a recession, and it's going to keep coming. Far out, man. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I don't really have much more to say. And I'll see you next time. Please take care of yourselves, Wastelanders, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight.